All right. Today on NewbieVeT, got a special guest. We got my dog, the one.
Yeah.
Did I nail it? DaeOne.
DaeOne.
Fucked it up. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I messed up one. I finally, it's been a while.
It's all right, man.
Okay. How you doing, King?
I'm doing all right today, man.
Okay, man. That's good. That's good, man. So we supposed to had this interview.
Yeah, about last year sometime.
Yeah.
But I know the COVID going on, I got all that. So
yeah. So, man, what's been up with you, man, from, some things from the last time we spoke to now? Like, what's been some updates?
Updates, man. I've been putting out music. I put out about 4 songs right now on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. I got a song called Get Loose out. I got a song called There She Go. It's called Get Loose.
What's that about?
Oh man, that's a party song. That's like when you get off work and you just want to get that little drink in. It's not even more like a club song. It's more just a relaxed song, party song. You just want to get that vibe, when you just get off work. Like, man, I feel loose.
Right.
Then I got this song called There She Go, which is my manager / fiance favorite song. Because it was written by her.
Right.
I mean, it was written about her.
It was written about her. Okay.
Then I got a song called She Always Know, which is pretty much another love song. And then I got this thing called Feel Like Me.
Feel Like Me. Okay.
Feel Like Me, which is, I got a video on right now on YouTube about it. Me and my daughter in the video. And it's just a feel fun song. It just make you feel good about yourself, man.
Right.
It's kind of, when I recorded it, it was like, you kind of sounded kind of cocky with it, but I was like, no, it's just a feel-good song.
Right.
Because that's the first, I recorded that song at Another World.
Shout out Another World.
Yeah,
Oasis.
Shout out Oasis. I recorded, a lot of my music I recorded at Oasis, so I got to give them shout out on that.
Okay.
When I recorded Feel Like Me, that was the first time I had my mama actually in the studio. I had my mom in the studio, I had my fiance in the studio, and I had 2 of my kids in the studio. So they actually got to see what I do.
Right.
So it was just like, wow. I'm like, yeah, this is what I do. I love doing it. Versus me being at the house, I just be playing around in the house, but when I get in the studio, it's a whole different vibe.
You a whole different character.
I'm a whole different. I can tell them when I put on my DaeOne shirt and all that stuff, they be like, "Oh, so that's who you are today?" I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, I ain't Daddy, I ain't Jesse, I'm DaeOne today.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you said that, man, because it's like for those who've been doing music for a while, because I've been doing music for a while.
Yes, sir.
So but once you realize that you can turn it on and off. Yeah. Like the Superman effect.
Yeah, you got to do that.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you got to be a father.
Yeah.
So, you got to have a daddy clothes.
Yeah.
You got to have your work clothes with your artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to be able to tap into all those energies.
Oh, man, yeah. It's nerve-wracking sometimes, but, it's all good. You have to do what you got to do.
Right.
And by, being a pandemic, it's kind of hard to really get out and do shows because you're like, okay, do I really want to take this risk or do I want to do this? So that's when you have to learn how to start promoting.
Right.
You got to know, okay, I knew I can get these radio plays versus this club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because being an artist, most people don't know it's all about the promotion. It ain't really about going in the club and doing it. It ain't really about none of that. It's like that promotion. Promotion is what's going to make you. It's going to make you or break you. You can have a fire song, and if you ain't got no promotion behind it, ain't nobody going to know your song.
Right.
Nobody's never heard it.
Right.
So what I do, I tap into different resources online and find out, okay, I need to find this online. I need to find that online. How to do this, how to do that. But you gotta, as an artist, you gotta know your main group. You just can't okay, I'm gonna put out this song and I just want to reach everybody.
Right.
But that's not your audience. You gotta find out what your audience is as an artist.
Right.
See, me, I got that old school because I've been doing it for years.
Right.
So my audience is more, the music I make is more like LL Cool J type of music.
Right.
And the young people ain't trying to hear that.
Nah.
Because that's a whole different vibe.
Whole different way, right.
It's a whole different way. But I make music for the females too. Right?
But that doesn't mean it's not relevant.
Oh, it's relevant. Yeah,
that one said that doesn't, because I tell a lot of people what you said, that's real. That's some gems. And like I tell people, man, it's like, don't change your style of music, whatever your music is, because there's an audience for that, like you said.
It is.
There's an audience for that.
You got to find it.
You got people from the 50s, 60s still touring.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's an audience for it.
Exactly. And I was just talking to one of my close friends yesterday, J.P. Cruz. We were just talking about these.
Shout out J.P. Cruz.
Yeah, we were just talking about all these different artists. It's like, because we both write. Because I love R&B music, so I write a lot of R&B tracks. So he sent me R&B tracks. I'd be like, bro, I got it. I'm on it. Cause he just sent me a couple last night. He's like, man, check this out, cause his son produced.
Right.
So I listened to the tracks. I was like, okay, yeah, I could figure something to do with it. You just gotta give me a few minutes to do it. Cause I usually write songs in like 5 minutes.
Right.
That's cause if I like the track, I'm on it. I'm on top of it. There ain't nothing. Right. So he sent me a song. I listened to it. I was like, okay, I like this. And then we got to talk about these old school artists. And I was like, bro, let's just make these songs to these old school artists and send them out to them.
Right.
He was like, why you want to do that? I was like, bro, because most of them are still touring. Most of them still irrelevant. Because see, I just distributed a song called One for Public Announcement. Okay. And a lot of people don't know who Public Announcement is.
Shout out Public Announcement.
So I had to, drop that cheat because I was talking to my cousin.
I don't know. Come on, man.
My cousin didn't even know. He's a 90. Most 90 babies don't know.
Who is the guy that played you?
And I had to hit him on that. I was like, bro. He's like, who? I was like, bro, you remember R. Kelly when R. Kelly originally first came out? He came out Public Announcement. He's like, oh, they.
She got that vibe.
Yeah, So shout out to them. I met them. I kind of met the lead singer over Facebook. Really, I thought it was, when you meet people on Facebook, you don't really think they're real.
Right.
You think they fake. But he hit me up, called me up. I was telling him, because I wanted him to do me a favor. I wanted him to do that song, Turn the Hands of Time, for my fiance. And he was like, okay, I'll do this for you, but you got to do me a favor. So he's like, if I do this, can you distribute one of our songs? Because I told him I'd do this distributing. He's like, yeah. So we trade off like that. He gave me his manager contact information. So I got in touch with his manager. Next thing I know, I was getting the email I was getting the songs from them. And I was like, it shocked me because I thought it was fake. But
right.
Really, it was real. It was legit. It was legit.
You first got the song, you're like, oh, man.
It's real.
Yeah.
Because he wanted me to write them two songs for the public announcer. He wanted me to rewrite Body Bump. And I was like, Body Bump. I was like, man, that's a classic. That's a classic. So I thought he was just playing, but when he sent me the track over, I was like, okay. Then I didn't get a chance to write the song. I still got the track. I still didn't get a chance to write it. But then he sent me the song that they recorded, the Body Bump, with Bootsy. So I got the track with Bootsy on it. With him. And I distributed that. I was like, this is hot. Like I like the original better than I like the new one. I'm gonna be honest, because I'm old school, so I like it.
Yeah.
But when I heard that track, they got the one, I was like, bro, I'm on.
Yeah, you're on.
I'm on. Because there's not too many people from Augusta can say they have distributed a major artist song.
Right.
And even though they still irrelevant.
Right.
I even got a chance to talk out. I'm trying to work with Silk now.
Okay.
So I've been talking to John. I found out John just did a EP.
Right.
I found out Lil G just dropping one, and another artist, the other one from them is dropping. Jimmy, he's dropping one. So it's like I'm trying to talk to them, link in with these old school artists, which is
that's a good way to coming in.
Exactly,
good way of coming in, because it's like a lot of people don't understand. Like when an artist isn't at this peak anymore, that doesn't mean they still ain't valuable.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They valuable to independent artists because that connection might not work with them no more like it'll work for you.
Exactly.
You're a fresh new talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you've been through that Silk experience. You've been through all the good R&B and all that. So you already know what the up-to-date sounds like.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it's not like I was trying to tell my friend. I was like, it's more of marketing. It's business. It ain't nothing personal. It ain't nothing like they ain't irrelevant. I was like, they still have a fan base. They still got a fan base.
Still can pull a show.
They still can pull a show.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, it's that's business.
Right.
Because my cousin was telling me yesterday, he was like, man, you need to go get some of these new artists. I was like, I can get these new artists, but they ain't as relevant as these old the fan base. Right. It's that fan base.
It's that fan base.
And then they've been in the game so long, I can learn a lot more from them than I can learn from the new people. Because most likely when you become a new artist and you get in the game, you gonna get screwed up.
Right.
Somewhere you gonna get screwed.
That's true.
So if I get one of these old school artists, they already been screwed. So they can tell me what to look for.
Yeah. You already know they've been screwed.
They've been screwed.
They've been public document, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch so many unsongs.
Right.
So I done learned so much watching Silk unsong, how Key Sweat messed them up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, this is business.
Right.
I'm like, let me learn this. So that's what I try to tell my artists. I was like, you have to. When I get artists, I tell them that. I was like, man, I'm the type of person, I done been screwed on with copyrights. People stole music. So when you work with me, I'm gonna show you the business side of it.
Right.
Because I don't want you to get screwed like I got screwed up.
Right.
Because I was like, a lot of these artists, they're not gonna tell you. A lot of these, when you go to these studios, they're not gonna make your sound. If they got artists on their label or whatever, they're not gonna make you sound as good as they artists.
Right.
Because they just trying to get the money.
Right.
But if you got a real producer who really love his art, he gonna make you sound good.
Right.
Because that's what he loves to do.
Right.
And his name is on the line.
Right.
So I don't record it with so many artists. I don't record with so many engineers. Not putting none out because everybody got their own style. Everybody work, they do their thing.
Right.
And I love everybody.
Right.
I ain't no hater.
Right.
So that's my thing. And I've been like being more of like I tell them, you have to put on so many hats as an artist. You got to be your own manager.
Right.
You got to be engineer, and you got to be promoter.
Right.
And I always tell them, I tell them, if you're gonna really do this music, there's a book called All About the Music Industry. Mm-hmm. Get the book, read it, learn your craft. Because if you don't know your craft, you're gonna get screwed every day.
Right. And that's why a lot of artists these days still get screwed over, because you be like, there's so many documentaries and so much history that people can watch and go back and be like, hey, you need to prepare yourself for the industry because of the sharks.
Exactly.
Because of different things like that. And like I say this on a couple of interviews already, I tell people, like, the artists are at the bottom of the ladder. The artists at the very, very bottom of the ladder. You don't matter. Like, not saying it like that, but you come in broke, and majority of the time you leave broke.
Yeah.
Everybody else get paid before you. The manager, studio engineer, published. Everybody get a cut before the artist.
Exactly.
You at the bottom of the ladder. So so it's important for artists to know copyrights, infringements, the black and white text.
Exactly.
Everything. Like, gotta know the business side, because it's not about the music anymore.
Oh no, it's 10% talent, 90% business.
Yeah,
and that's real.
It dropped.
It is for real. If you don't know, if you can't read contracts, you might as well just hang it up. That's it.
Right.
Because they can say one little word that can flip that whole contract.
Right.
One little word you don't even know.
Right.
So that's one thing I learned when dealing with my uncle back in the 90s. So my uncle told me, because he was working with what's his name? Creole D and all them. He was back then when they were doing Daisy Dukes and all them.
Right.
So he was telling me, he's like, bro, you got to learn the contracts. You got to learn this business side.
Right.
Because if you don't know it,
right, you
ain't going to make no money.
Right.
Because it's just like, he was like, the TLC, that's real.
That's real.
The silk. He like silk. When I didn't know silk, when I looked at Unsung, that's when I learned they didn't start making money till like their fourth album. They was really making money.
Right.
And then I had some hits.
Right.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, this is for real.
Right.
And they got mega hits.
Yeah, because a lot of the writers back in those days would get most of the credit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then like even now, like artists, when they try to get a deal, like I tell artists, okay, is a record, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Is a record contract relevant now, as of today? Far as you got so many resources and tools that you do independently yourself, it just takes money. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you got time, if you got time to invest in marijuana and all this other leisure activity, you can sacrifice that into your career.
Exactly.
Or sign a contract and they give you a signing bonus. You think that's still relevant?
No.
Okay.
No. Because what a record label can do for you can do for yourself.
Right.
You can do it. So if for me, being in the game and what I would do, I'm not going to go to the record label and be like, okay, you're going to give me a distributor. You're going to do this for me. Right. When I can do this.
Right.
When I got my own distributor, my own promotion, got all my paperwork together, I'm going to you and asking, what can you do for me?
Right.
Not what you can do for me, what you can do for me. Not what I can do for you, what you can do for me.
Right.
Because I already got all my stuff. If you tell me, I can do the promotion, I can do okay, I already got all that.
Right.
I got the distributor, so what can you do?
Right.
That I can't do for myself.
Right.
And that's how a lot of independent artists have to be these days. You gotta be the label.
Right. Yeah. And then on top of that, it's like when I moved to Augusta, I only been in Augusta about 4 years.
Okay.
So like when I moved to Augusta, I did a history on Augusta, like, cause I knew I was gonna do a lot of big things down this way.
Gotcha.
So I let me know the history at least. You know what I'm saying? Cause I need to know what the hell I'm talking about before I try to do some shit in Augusta.
In Augusta, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I realized that James Brown wasn't the only successful artist, musician from Augusta.
No.
Even if you go back, I did an interview with DJ Prince Sean. Prince Raheem. Sorry about that.
Got you.
Prince Raheem. You know, he's not from Augusta, but he's
in this area.
Yeah, in the area. But you learn about Southern players.
Yep.
You learn about Pressure. You learn about Deuce. You learn about all these names, and all of them were millionaires.
Yeah.
From Augusta.
From Augusta.
Why do you feel like they don't get acknowledged or they get the respect like they're supposed to?
Lord, that's okay. For me,
because you born and raised in Augusta.
I'm born and raised in Augusta. All that.
Yeah.
Augusta loves certain artists.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say my city's a hater because my city's not a hater. They just have certain artists they behind.
Right.
Like it's.
But what artist is that? Because they never really been behind an artist really, besides James Brown.
Yeah. It's
can't say Troy because Troy ain't from Augusta.
Nah, Troy ain't from Augusta. It's okay. What can I say? How can I say this? Most of the time when the artists come out, it's basically their neighborhood behind them.
Right. That's true.
It's a whole neighborhood behind them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that's their fan base. Say, let's say Millionaires and Players.
Right.
Barton Village is all behind them.
All behind them.
All behind them. The Circle Boys. That's Glen Hills.
That's a new name. I never heard of them.
Yeah, that's
Circle Boys.
Then you got
what year they came out?
Oh, they came out like in the 90s.
Circle Boys.
Yeah, they was back there when Barton Village came out. Then they came out.
Okay.
Then you got South. I forgot their name. They was South something because they had Mike Hayes. They had the white boy Mike Hayes. They did a Kia commercial back in the day. They were from Meadowbrooks. They came out. Then you had you just had so many people that came out, and it's like I said, neighborhoods are back them up. That what makes them is they neighborhoods that back them up.
Right.
Because we got right now, P.I. We got Pig right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got Pig versus
shout out Pig.
You got him versus VTech that's coming up.
Yeah.
You know, VTech from Barton Village, Pig from down this way.
Right.
Then you got DSGB. You know,
the real DSGB.
Yeah. You know, you got them. You got Red Mouth and all them. You know, It's like you got Buck. You know, you gotta give them their props because they really are like the legends in the game. They really are legends.
They're like the true Augustans.
They're the true Augusta music.
Yeah.
Like what we got now, a lot of the new artists we got now, they don't know the history, don't know these are the guys that paid the way for you to get where you're at in Augusta. Because if it weren't for them, Augusta music won't be nowhere.
Most of the Augusta artists now got a Atlanta sound.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
And it's like, me and my fiance would listen to a lot of music, a lot of Augusta music, and she was like, baby, a lot of Augusta music sound the same. It really sound the same. I was like, well, it sounds the same because everybody is copying everybody's style.
Right.
And once you realize you break away from all that, because when I recorded Get Loose with my boy World, he was like, bruh, this is not even an Augusta song. He said, it don't sound like nothing from Augusta.
Right.
And I was like, I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm Augusta. And then when I took it to my other homeboy and let him listen to it, he said the same thing. He was like, bro, this sounds nothing like anything ever been heard in Augusta.
Right.
He was like, who did the production? Who made the beat and everything? I was like, it was a group from California called the Legion Beats.
Right.
They did the beat. He was like, and they from California. He's like, that's why. Because the world was like, this more sound like more a Midwest type of song.
Right.
I was like, bro, he's like, bro, you got a hit. He's like, if you get the right promotion and behind it, you got you a hit.
Right.
Right behind you. So that's what, and then when I let my fiance hear, which is like my manager, shout out to my Nicole, that's my manager. She was like, baby, I like this. She said, this sounds nothing like Augusta. She said, I love your sound because it sounds nothing like Augusta.
Right. And
I was like, well, World and them helped me get my sound because I used to sound like Augusta.
Right.
Like, I used to try to copy everybody in Augusta. That's why when I say I sound like Augusta, I've been trying to copy everybody in Augusta. Like, looking at people, like, I like this sound.
Right.
But most of the time when you hear Augusta music, you'll know Augusta music because it's trap music.
Right.
We known for trap music.
Right.
We don't really have too much music that's about females, uplifting women. We really don't have that.
Hell no.
We really don't have that.
I mean, you got a few artists down this way that I've heard, but they're not popular.
Yeah.
They're not popular. But you know, there you got the you got my boy with the 42. 42 that's THC BJ now.
Yeah.
Lock Life BJ. That's their squad. They have a variety of different type of music. Our brand, CTC, of course, have a different type of music, but we haven't pushed ours out there yet because we've been doing the filming.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that everybody's paperwork correct.
That's the key. A lot of artists,
we don't just push shit out there.
Yeah, a lot of artists don't know that's what's gonna really make you your paperwork.
The paperwork.
See, I got my son right now. He shout out to my son, Dumb Way. I just recorded one of his songs. I'm getting him in the point, like, bruh, because he talented. He talent
right
out the world. But as for sitting him down, getting paperwork together, like, bro, we got to get this paperwork together. Because you can have all the talent in the world and don't have your paperwork together.
Right.
So he's learning the business side of it. We bump heads a little bit because he do his thing, and I be like, man, you need to get into this is what God gave you to do. Right. I'm telling you, this is your talent. This is your outlet. Right. So he's now starting to learn, and I got to give a shout out to my boy TJ. You know, he just got back. He just you know, got out of his situation he was in. You know, I'm glad to see him out of that situation because that's a very talented young man. Right. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of stuff, good stuff about him, nothing but good stuff. And, you know, God was with him with his situation. So I had to give him a little shout out on this. Okay. But as for music, man, I love it. This is the best thing I've ever chose to do. I've always done it since I was a little kid. And I couldn't ask for nothing better. Right. You know, God gave me the talent.
So you born and raised in Augusta?
Yes, sir.
Went to Glen Hill?
Shout out to Glen Hill. That's my home.
Shout out to Glen Hill, man.
Even though we bump heads at my house because I got my daughter go to Laney. My fiance graduated from Josie, so we bump heads.
So dang, it's like 3 different
we bump heads in the house.
Yeah, and Augusta's a real competitive city when it comes to sports.
Oh yes.
Especially football, and basketball. Yeah, like
the Laney and the Josie game. That's the biggest one right there.
That's the biggest one.
That's the biggest one. Everybody.
Why is that the biggest one?
Because they rivals. You know they the first black schools. You know.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's some history behind Laney and Josie.
I didn't know that. So they're the first 2 black schools down here.
Yeah. Okay. It's some history because I had to learn. Because I got a manager at work. She went to Laney. I just pick out about Laney, and then all of a sudden, my daughter don't like going to Laney, so I just started doing the research behind Laney, and I was like, wow, Laney got some research, some history. Yeah. Because I didn't know, because the lady that created Lucy Laney, you know, she's buried at the school.
What?
Her grave is at the school.
Well, like she like in there and shit?
Yeah, no, you know, when you walk out, you know, by the gym.
Is it like a memorial type thing, or her body is in there?
Her grave is there.
That's like some spooky shit.
Her grave's already, because her house is right next to the school.
Next to the school, and they built the school on top of the body.
No, it's like, no, you actually walk up and see her grave site on the school campus. Oh, yeah. You know that look, when you drive, you know, when you pass Laney and you see that little gate? Yeah. That's her grave.
What the fuck? I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's her grave. That's her grave.
I'm gonna ride by that just to be nosy.
Yeah, you can walk up to it. That's it. That's her grave. Because when you walk past, when you go on that side road and you see that little, I think it's like a pink looking house.
Right. The pink
That's her house. Oh. Yeah, that's her house.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, it's like, I learned that just doing history.
Man, that
and then, you know, it's just, that's why I said.
I need to read up on that, man.
Yeah, Josie got some history behind it too. Yeah. It was a black man, a black doctor that created Josie High School.
So, was you around with when I came down here, I was doing history, I was going to do a horror movie. I'm still going to do it though. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking about the Augusta Pillar.
Yeah, I would say when they had that.
When they had that. So, was there any truth to that?
They said it was true, but I read so much different stories about it. I heard that was a new one. That wasn't the original one.
Yeah, they had fixed it and stuff, yeah.
But yeah, I heard some history about it. I heard, somebody walked up, touched it, died. Yeah. So, stuff like that I don't play with, because because, you know,
the black dude, he ran over it. Well, he got in a wreck and hit it. Yeah. And knocked it down.
Yeah. And stuff like that, you really can't play with.
You can't play with
it. Because if they said it happened, 9 out of 10 it happened. it's some kind of truth behind it. So, and Augusta known for some scary stuff. It's some truth behind something.
Oh, man.
So.
Oh yeah, man.
I do a lot of praying. I do a lot of praying. It's like,
oh man, yeah. So man, all right. So getting into the engineer, what made you want to get into like far as getting into the engineering, like wanted to learn how to record, learn how to mix, master, produce yourself?
Honestly, I'm always the type of person, I like learning something new. If I'm gonna be an artist, I want to know every ins and out of what, because you got to find your sound,
right?
And if you don't know your sound, an engineer can just give you anything,
right?
And I'm like, okay, bro, what's this? What this knob do? What this do? What that do? What this do? Because I'm always constantly learning. Because if I learn, the more I know,
the easier it is. I help your job.
I can help the engineer because
right.
I know a little bit more.
Right.
Like, I don't like the auto-tune. Don't put the auto-tune on there. I sound better when you put this plug on. Then he'd be like, oh, you know what you're talking about. Right. You know? Because you got some engineers that just push button. That's all they do. Yeah. They don't talk to you. They don't tell you nothing.
Right. Because, they're so used to recording. They have a template.
Yeah.
Some engineers have a template. I don't use templates.
Yeah.
I don't use templates unless they're my people. I have you got your client that always come and do some music with you. They only come record with you. Those I have a template for because for one, it's like, okay, this is your template for your EQ, for your sound, for this.
And I created that just for you.
Just for you.
Yeah.
But I don't have that for everyone else. You know what I'm saying? So I know exactly what you're saying. Then you have some that just, so they'll just put a template and use that one template on everybody's recording.
Yeah. And this is, and one thing I found out this too, if you're an R&B artist, you can't go to an engineer that records just trap music, rap music. You just can't go to them because they don't know how to record.
They don't
R&B.
have the ear for R&B.
They don't have the ear for R&B.
You gotta record R&B totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different.
And the way my uncle told me, he's like, whenever you record an R&B artist, he is like, you have to record the background vocals first.
Right.
Do their background vocals and build the song from the back. And build the song. And I'm like, and I never really thought about it till he told me about it. I was like, it makes a lot of sense because I can hear it.
Right.
Especially to me being like in R&B,
right.
I know what I'm looking for. I know what the sound you should sound like.
Right.
Because when a lot of R&B artists come to me, like, I don't know how to sound like, bro, this is what you need to sound. I hear something that you don't hear, even though they get mad. Because a lot of times when you go to the studio, your engineer is gonna hear something that you don't hear.
Right.
And then they gonna want to put it in. You be like, okay, go ahead and do that. Because when we recorded Get Loose, it was a plain track. But then when I went and told World what I thought should go in, I was like, man, because there's an up-tempo song, so I was like, you know what, bro, put that little John in the background. He put a little John in the background. It was history. It made it a whole different song.
Right.
It just, because it's like I said, I just heard that little John in the background. I was like, yeah, do that.
Right.
Change the whole vibe of the song.
Change the whole vibe of the song. Yeah, one small thing can alter a whole song and change it where it needs to be. So that's why when you, like, certain people might record a song and they might, like, now mostly rappers now, they have more of a melodic flow. They have more of a singing type thing. Like the Ja Rule-ish, Bone Thugs and Harmony type thing is at all-time high now. But that's what the wave is on now, which that wave is about to die out. It's going to die out because, music changes every so many years.
Exactly.
We don't have this style for the next 5 years. Thank you.
Cause I was never big on the auto-tune thing.
I hate auto-tune.
I hated that. So that was never my thing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Auto-tune has been around for years. Before me, you was born. It's been around. But it just, it's stretched out too much.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Bad enough you hear it in pop songs.
Yeah.
That's like the number one DNA for pop music is auto-tune.
Yeah.
But
see, a lot of people don't know what auto-tune actually is for. And they just throw auto-tune on my voice. That's not what that's for, bro. Right. That is like a correction pitch. If your pitch is correct. And then you can't put too much auto-tunes on your voice because you're going to sound like a robot.
It's a robot. But that's a style now. You got you got like 6 rappers that got the same robotic sound because nobody either they didn't know how to tweak Pro Tools.
Yep.
I mean auto-tune. And cause even that's why a lot of robotic sound be so robotic because a lot of them don't know how to use auto-tune properly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They'll just slap the plug in there and find the right key or the tone and just let it be.
Yeah.
Don't do no tweaking to it.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? you know, they don't know that you're supposed to dial the auto-tune back where you barely hear the auto-tune, you hear most of the vocals, but you know,
exactly.
they don't do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But
that's why I was telling my daughter until I was like in a lot of R&B music, you hear they use auto-tune. You just don't
hear it.
But
right.
it's in there.
It's in there. Yeah, your best singers do. Adele, Beyonce, they all use it.
Yeah.
That don't mean they can't sing.
They just help them out.
Help them out.
Yeah. Cause like when I'll go like to a Beyonce, let them hear Beyonce song, and then I was like, y'all hear her live. You'll hear the difference in the vocals. Like I remember when one year Brian McKnight came to Augusta and song at the Mayfest. I'm a big Brian McKnight fan, so I'm listening to the album. Like the album sound good,
right?
So when I saw him in person, that man sound like the album. It wasn't no different. I was like, this man can really sing.
Yeah.
So like you gotta artists when you see artists. Yeah. And you gotta give them their props when you see them.
You can tell the ones that's from church.
Yeah.
Like Brian McKnight, he come from the church.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all his brothers, like his family come from music. His daddy and all that was in a big famous gospel band. So it was like, so just certain voices just resonate, and then certain people need that auto tune, and then you hear a difference when they on stage.
Exactly. Just speaking of you saying that they come from church, like a lot of people don't know the group Silk. You know, they was a gospel group.
Oh yeah, there was a gospel.
They
was
was straight gospel.
Straight gospel.
I was like,
"Freak Me Baby" was the song that made them not so gospel-y no more.
And they then they didn't want to make that song.
They didn't want. They hate.
They was ashamed to make that song. Right. Because when they went to church, they said all the church moms was looking at them. It's like they said they was wondering what their mom and dad was gonna say.
That's crazy. But you just think back and look at artists that go through that. You were like, okay, at some point, man, I understand. Like, at some point, you have to sit around and be like, damn, where is our success? Where's the finances?
Oh yeah.
You know, at least after your first hit.
Yeah, it's after your first hit. You gotta, like you said, the artist is the last person to get paid.
Right. So and then you don't get you gotta have a hit record, don't get paid. You don't get paid right away.
Oh no.
You gotta wait.
You gotta wait. Yeah. Because it's like you said, you gotta wait. You gotta pay all these people off. Right. A lot of people. That's why I tell people when you become an artist, you gotta become more than just an artist.
Right.
Because you gotta come out with a clothing line or something. Because bro, you shouldn't be broke if you just depend on just being an artist.
Right.
You about to be broke.
Because you gotta wait, because like you get a hit record, you don't get your, like, say like your song hit the radio right now and it blows up right now, you don't get a check right now. You gotta wait till them 3 months and that quarter's up. Yeah. Then you get your first royalty check from that first statement for that first 3 months. Because that's how artists get those, we get paid every 3 months, every quarterly. Yes, you know, for like the BMIs and all that's how they pass their checks out. But you don't get paid like that. That's why they give you advances.
Yeah. And that money you gotta pay back.
And you gotta pay it back.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know.
Because people are like, what do you advance for? Like, the advance for, this money gets you by until you can provide a hit for them to pay them back. That money plus extra.
Plus extra money. And then a lot of artists don't know that. They're like, I just got this advance check. I got this money. I'm
gonna blow it.
I'm gonna go buy me some necklaces and stuff.
And blow it.
And don't realize, bro, you gotta pay that money back. They want their money back.
Then you gotta pay that money back. Now you got change you gotta sell.
Yeah.
You got stuff you gotta get back.
Yeah.
You ain't buying nothing.
You ain't buying nothing.
Buy anything.
Yeah. Because as an artist, they don't realize when you pay for everything. Anything you want in your video, that's where that money come from. You're paying for it.
Right.
That's why when I saw 2 Chainz did that birthday suit song, and he was in the street, just walking in the street. That man, that was the smartest move he ever made. Because he didn't have to really pay for nothing.
Right.
Like, you got people that's like, I got Bentleys and all that stuff in the video, so Ferraris. You paying for all this. For what?
For the image.
For an image.
Yeah. Because a lot of those rappers, they put out those big time money images, so their videos got to match what they rap about.
Exactly.
So that's why they kick out bukus, like a Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj talks so much high glamour, high maintenance stuff. She can't have a Honda Accord in her music video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't do it.
You can't do that. Because people like, don't get it wrong. People that have Honda Accords, like, okay, Nicki. But like for the chicks that look up to you as this high maintenance chick, you can't be talking big ball shit with a Honda Accord.
Okay.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Don't go together.
Yeah. But then again, you can't, when you do music too, whatever you spit, it's got to be real.
Right.
Because you're going to find somebody that's going to check you.
Right.
They're going to always check you and see if you're real.
Right.
So the stuff I write about, like I said, I write about R&B stuff, love type of stuff. So you can check that all day because everybody want to be in love.
Right.
So, but I ain't gonna talk about stuff I don't have.
Right.
And then you turn around, bro, you fake.
Right.
Then I'm gonna lose a lot of fan base.
Right.
Because,
right. So let me ask you a good question then. You know,
yes.
Since you into R&B, do you feel like good R&B? Do we feel like that R&B is in good hands right now? As far as with the artists that we have in R&B right now, do you feel like we're in good hands for the next 10 years?
He said the next 10 years. If you said the next 3 or 4 years, then I would have been like, yeah, but the next 10
I mean, because you got to think, like, the best R&B music come from the 90s, of course.
Yeah, but you got
you got the 80s, but I'm saying, but a lot of the music back in the days, they aged very well.
Very well.
I don't really hear a lot of music now that's going to age the way that they age. What would you say?
I would say certain artists will.
Okay.
Like your Chris Brown.
He more pop.
Yeah, and
more
you know
pop,
you got your Usher
Usher's pop.
And you got
what I mean by like when I say pop, like Usher went pop.
Yeah,
Chris Brown's pop.
He went pop.
The ones that stay on. What I mean by R&B, like we don't have like the real R&B people no more.
No, that's why all the
like the genuines are gone.
That's why all the old ones coming back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of the old ones are coming back to give you what R&B really is.
What really supposed to be. Supposed to be.
Because right now you hear like, "Girl, I want to lick you. I want to do all kind of sexual." That's not R&B.
It's not R&B.
That's not the real R&B.
And you know that and the only one that's carrying the R&B trophies right now is Bruno Mars.
Oh, Bruno
and
Mars.
His squad.
Bruno Mars
and
is like
Sam Smith.
Bruno Mars is hands down one of. I mean, that man right there is.
He's a Michael. He's in
the leader of his own.
He's a Michael of his time.
Yeah, he's in the leader of his own. Because that Versace song, that's my. Because like I knew he could sing. Because I heard some songs he did, but when I heard that Versace, I was like, oh, this bro can really sing.
Right.
Can really go.
Really go.
Right.
So out of R&B artists, out of R&B writers, songwriters, who are your top 3?
My top 3
R&B songwriters
ever. I gotta go with Brian McKnight as 1.
Okay.
Donnell Jones. Yeah,
that was a good one. That was a good one.
Donnell Jones.
That's a good one. That was a real good one. Hell of a songwriter.
And honestly, I gotta go with the 2 twins from Jagged Edge.
Okay.
Gotta go with them.
Okay.
And the only reason why I go with them is because every song they put out, they wrote.
Right.
Every hit song they wrote all their hit songs. Like
dope.
a lot of people don't know, they wrote all their songs.
All their songs, right?
And them 2 twins wrote them.
Right.
And if you go back and listen to a lot of their songs, you like, wow, bro, I wouldn't even thought about that.
I go my 3 songwriters, R&B songwriters, of course, Kenny Ammons, Babyface.
I was gonna say Babyface, but
Babyface.
Everybody would have said Babyface.
Babyface, of course. Neo.
Neo's a bad boy.
Neo and R. Kelly.
I would say R. Kelly.
You cannot take off R. Kelly.
Okay, with R. Kelly, you right. You can't take.
You can't take R. Kelly.
R. Kelly is talented, very talented.
Right.
He's as a songwriter.
Right.
What I would say, yeah, he's one of the top ones because
he is of all time.
By him not being able to read and write.
Right.
That would make him a great songwriter.
Great songwriter because he doesn't read or write. And it's like how?
Yeah. How do you do it?
How do you do that? So it's
it's not too people, and not too people can sit here and say, I wrote Michael Jackson a song, 2 songs, and it was hits.
And it was hits.
And it was hit songs.
Hits, big hits.
And even though R. Kelly got this thing going on or whatever, nobody can sit here and say, I don't like an R. Kelly song.
Right.
You can never say that. You might not like R. Kelly, the singer, the music, but you can't say you don't like none of his songs because if you hands down look at it, my fiance, one of my fiance's favorite songs is Fortunate by Maxwell. R. Kelly wrote it.
Right.
So you can't say you don't.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like he has influence. R. Kelly's been influenced music artists for years, man. Like he has, I don't think nobody's beating him in a versus match.
No,
you're not beating R. Kelly in a versus match. There's no one that's alive that can beat him in a versus match. Because it's like, he done wrote for your artist, damn near. He done did songs with everybody.
And here's the thing: what you say with the versus battle. Even if R. Kelly, they'll never have one with R. Kelly.
Right.
But if you have an artist on there and he wrote that song, you still got an R. Kelly song.
You still got an R. Kelly.
Still got a song.
Still R. Kelly's reference.
Yeah.
That's used in the battle.
That's in the battle.
That's in the battle.
And especially if it's a number one hit.
Yeah.
You don't play it.
You gotta think, if you in a battle, there's nobody that, people are like Drake. But Drake doesn't write and produce a lot of his hits. A lot of those been songs that he buy from people, or those been producers or other writers that come in there. It's been proven. So, but Drake has a lot of hits. But Drake hits don't compare to R. Kelly hits.
Oh, no.
It's a difference.
It's a difference.
It's a difference. Because you got R. Kelly got his own hits. Then you got shit that he produced.
Yeah.
That he wrote. And he don't read or write.
Yeah. So it's like, that's just talent, man. That's just straight talent.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him hands down as an artist. You got to give him his props.
Look at Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat.
Terrible businessman.
Yeah.
But hell of a songwriter.
Yeah. And singer. A beggar.
Yeah, he's a beggar.
He's a beggar.
He's a beggar.
But that is his voice.
It's his voice. It's iconic. Voice. Certain voices distinctive. You'll never get that voice again.
Like my fiance was telling us, Jaheim.
Jaheim.
Yeah, Jaheim.
What about Life?
Life
Jennings.
Yeah, I like Life Jennings.
Like Anthony Hamilton?
Yeah. If I had to do a versus battle, I would love to see Jaheim and Life go at it. I would love to see them. Because their style is almost similar. I would love to hear them go at it versus battle.
Or Anthony and Jaheim.
Or Anthony, yeah.
Or Anthony and Jaheim. That'd be pretty dope.
That'd be a good one.
That should actually be pretty dope.
Yeah. So, you know.
The top three verses I want to see Prince and Mike. Now, they're not alive, hear me out, but I feel like they should have a family relative, maybe Jermaine or somebody representing Mike, representing Jackson, and somebody representing Prince. And then have them doing a versus battle in the memory of them. That'd be different. And that'd be big.
Yeah.
It won't hit the same because
they're not
they're not there.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's always going to be a debate who's better, Michael and Prince.
The thing with them, but you know they was beefing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They had a long beef.
But that's what I'm saying. That would be a good little start.
Because if you ever think about it, back then, they were the two biggest artists that never did a song together.
Right. They tried. They almost came together, but their personalities didn't go together.
It wasn't the personality that, because you know they supposed to did, what was it? Bad. You know they supposed to did, Bad was supposed to be
both of them together. Yeah.
But Prince said he wasn't doing it because he wasn't singing Your Butt Is Mine.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not saying that to him and he's not saying that to me.
Right.
So I'm like, that's the only why you didn't do the song?
All right.
Like, that's the only reason.
Right.
And
but then a lot of them, but they also said they had ego issues.
Yeah.
A lot of ego issues came into that too. Michael was ready to work with Prince, but Prince had so many demands.
Yeah.
And stuff like that Mike was like, hey, it ain't that serious. We ain't got to do the song. So
I mean, because you got to think Mike did a song with Eddie Murphy. Like, out of all people,
right. But Eddie Murphy is one of the biggest black comedians at that time.
But you would have never thought Mike and Eddie Murphy would do a song.
Well, they were best friends.
Yeah, but you would have never thought that though.
Yeah,
yeah. Mike?
Yeah.
That's a king of. So you must really know Mike personally.
But you gotta think, Eddie Murphy, this like Beverly Hills Cop, all this out. So he was big. He was Kevin Hart back then.
Yeah.
So he was bigger than Kevin Hart back then.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? So
but that's what I want. That's what I really want to see too, is like a comedy battle. Kind of comedy versus. Because I think that'll be dope too.
Like movie versus movie.
No, just a comedy.
Or skit versus skit, whatever. Oh, that'd be dope.
That'd be dope.
It'd be dope. I wonder how they will format that. That'll be pretty dope.
That'd be crazy.
Another verse I wouldn't mind seeing is 50 in Game. 50 in Game.
I don't know, because that's like 50 do actually got more hits.
I don't know, but Game got his too.
You know what I want to see.
His,
it might sound crazy, but this is what I want to see. I want to see who would challenge Eminem.
Eminem
in a versus battle.
Because
Eminem got some hits.
Let me see. Who will versus Eminem? Actually, is it Drake?
You think Drake? You think Drake can swing with him?
Wayne.
I would like to see Drake and Wayne go at it.
Drake, Wayne. I think for the go against Eminem, Drake, Wayne. Because if you going, because they're not going by lyrical, they're just going by hit for hit.
Okay.
If you're going for hit, Drake, definitely put Drake in there with M.
Okay. What about LL Cool J?
LL Cool J.
Because you know he got hits.
Well, L got hits. That's a good one. For L, Snoop. Both cool.
Yeah.
Both cool personalities, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about to say, you got to put somebody that's... Like,
one don't smoke, they the opposite of each.
Yeah.
You know, LL's more of a clean cut, Snoop more of a, you know...
Yeah, parties.
Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Snoop don't change.
That's the only one I know that been out for just as long. Well, LL been out longer, but Snoop been out a while too, have enough hits that can last with him. Because you got to think, you battling LL, you battling... LL from when he was Kango LL.
Yeah, like he was an 80s, he was like 18 back then.
He was a beast back then.
Yeah, he's still that beast. He's still that beast.
His music just wasn't reaching that in his career because he tried to keep that queen sound. Yeah. And it's not resonating.
Even like with Will Smith, my daughter was listening to Will because she was like, I didn't know Will Smith rap. Like, baby, Will been rapping for years.
Fresh bitch.
Because she just know him as a movie actor.
Yeah. A lot of people.
They didn't know when he did that jump on that song with George Lucas.
Right.
I was like,
he killed it.
And
but I was like, oh, he back.
Yeah.
That's how I seen it.
Yeah.
Because I know he got bars like that. This man went platinum every album with no profanity.
Yeah.
Didn't never say a cuss word.
Yeah. But if you listen to the song, like, it took him so many years to respond to Eminem. Because he responded to Eminem in that song. It's like, when I listened, I was like, yeah, man, he finally responded to him.
But you got to think, though.
But he was clean with it.
Yeah, but
it was no disrespectful thing.
Exactly. We got to think, though, but a lot of people be like, that's another thing in Hollywood. A lot of people don't understand when it comes to the business side. We have so much chaos in our personal life. Like, say like me and you. Mm-hmm. Me and you might want to drop some stuff, but we're like, damn, we should have been dropped it. Yeah. But we done had so many speed bumps and personal shit in our life that took us off track for a second. Yeah. And then once we finally get back on, you're like, okay, I'm ready now. 8 months don't pass? What the hell I've been doing for 8 months? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So sometimes I think we go through a mental speed bump. So like, say like for instance for Will Smith, biggest name in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, you wasn't even thinking about
Samuel and all that. So during that time, shit, when M came out with that Will Smith got a cussing his records to sell records. What I do, fuck him, fuck you too. Shit, Will was doing what? Men in Black. Yeah. He was doing so much big shit then. You think, shit.
He probably didn't even heard the song.
He didn't even hear it. Right. You know what I mean?
If you think about that, that's the same thing with when Eminem did Rap God, or not Rap God, the one he did Machine Gun Kelly in.
Oh, when he came back, yeah. Machine Gun.
He said that was years ago when he did that. But it's like Eminem said, I have so much stuff in my radar, it just finally hit my radar.
Right. And that be real. Because like, you might heard it, but it's like you have so much other, like a lot of people, like if you get so busy, which I'm having to learn that. Because, you know, like you say, it was hard to get in contact with me. Yeah. So it's like, and it's not that you trying to ignore people, but you got to think when you're doing music, you're doing video, you're doing filming, then you're running artists, then you having to edit, then you got to do interviews, you got to put them together, then you got to do a studio, then you got to do personal life, then do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's kind of hard to be, you know, that's when the priorities come in. So you be like, okay, do I answer this phone call or do I finish this $1,500 job that's due in 2 hours?
$1,500. That's a no-brainer right there.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta finish this.
Let me finish this. Later. I'll call you back later. Let me finish this $1,500 job. Yeah. So it's like that's when it comes to priorities, even with fathers.
Oh yeah.
As fathers, so it's like they might be telling your homeboy, "Hey, let's go play ball." I gotta take my daughter here at 7. I gotta take her here. I just link back up with y'all. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
This is important, bro.
Right.
Because you can't get them times back with your kids, bro. You really can't.
Yeah, that's important.
You can't get it back.
Yeah, that's
important. There's been a lot of times I've called off work, like, man, I gotta do this father thing. You know, that's the first thing. I'm at anything, I'm a father first. You know, that's my main job. Husband, fiance, whatever. That's family first. That's my first No matter what it is, I got to do that first.
That's the hardest thing with a job, though, trying to get them to understand that your kids do matter.
Like, well, my job is easy because my job, they understand. Because a lot of people, my boss is like, she's a grandma, so she understands.
So you got it good.
Yeah, I got it good.
I'm speaking for the ones that don't.
Yeah.
Like, you might have someone that might be sick, and I hate that because it's like, okay, when a child gets sick, you have a doctor's excuse for that day, but you have to go back to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The child gets to stay home, but you got to go back to work, but you got to have your phone just in case something happens. But you in a warehouse or something, you can't have your phone.
Yeah, you warehouse, you work in a restaurant, you can't have your phone.
You done explaining to them like, hey, look, you know I'm responsible. I've been working here 6 years, you know. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't trying to hear that.
They ain't trying to hear
that. They ain't trying to hear that. Because I tell them in a minute, I can find another job. I can't replace my child, but I can find another job.
Right. Right.
So, because I had one coworker that got mad at me because I had called out one time. He was like, bro, you called out, you left us hanging and all that stuff. I was like, bro, my kid was sick. Right. And he was like, you know, blah, 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 popping off at the mouth. And I was like, and I'm trying to talk to the manager, and he blocked my mouth. And I'm like, okay, you know what, bro? Forget this job. Forget this team. I don't need this. My kid more important. Right. And then he got mad about this. Like, I was like, bro, you ain't got no kids, so you don't know how I feel.
Right.
If you ain't got no kids, you won't know.
Yeah, you'll never relate.
You ain't gonna relate. Ain't no way you can relate.
Right.
But we started talking after a while after the whole situation. And, you know, I told him, he's like, man, you know, I deal with my mom. I was like, it's different than dealing with your mom and your kid. Right. That's a whole ballgame. Your mama can take care of herself, but your kid can't take care of herself.
Can't take care of herself. You gotta be able to take care of them. They depend on you.
Exactly.
You the rock. Yeah. So exactly. Yeah, man. So okay, cool, man. So before we slide off on NewbieVeT, man, is there any love you would like to shout out, and how can they get in contact with you?
Man, you can get in contact with me through DaeOne Music Group at DaeOne is DaeOneMusix groups with a Z at gmail.com. Or you could just Google me, pretty much Google Hustle Grind Time Media, and my information will pop up. I want to give a shout out to all my kids. Shout out to my artist, Dumbway. Shout out to my fiance, my manager, Nicole. You know, without her, I wouldn't be doing this, man, because she pretty much pushed me to do it. Because she was like, baby, it's time for you to get out there and do what you got to do. So, bet. And I'm writing a book called Nobody's Home.
Nobody's Home. What's that about?
The book, it's about this little girl. It's about this girl named Latoya, which is my daughter's name. She encounters a little girl in her friend's house. But the crazy thing about the whole thing is the little girl is her, and she doesn't even know it. So it's pretty much, she died as a little child, and her spirit came out of her body. And that's her spirit talking to her. So she doesn't know what's going on. Her friend knows what's going on, so her friend tried to give her the information of what's going on, but it's gonna be a really good book.
Oh, that sounds pretty good, man. That sounds pretty dope. Okay, cool.